this journey has been unique, breathtaking, gut-wrenching, all the different things. And it boils down to a situation that I experienced this week. And it was going to a memorial service of a very good friend of mine that passed away. And it really made me think about, why are we all doing what we're doing? And here's the thing, it was a great turnout. I'd probably say between 150, 200 people were there. But it really makes you think about the present and what you're doing. And are you operating in a way that the conversations, the way that you do business, the way you conduct yourself with your family, that if it happened today and this was your final breath, how many people would interrupt their day to be at your memorial? And I think that should be a way that it dictates the intensity, the drive, the fortitude that gets us through every single day. Because it's a different level of fortitude to have 50 people there, right? They say that you're going to have probably at least 20, 30, right? And that's going to be mainly your family and the people that are important to you. But what happens if you can move that to 100, 250, 500, 10,000? And for those of us in this age, what if it meant that tributes would be posted online about the impact that you had in someone else's life? Now, I think that as we're operating throughout our journey, our careers, whatever it might be, we have miniature versions of that final memorial. Here's an example that I think some people would be able to relate to. So you are in a role, and in that role, you're giving it everything you got. And you truly do believe that people are seeing you for the leader that you are, or the worker that you are. And something changes. And all of a sudden your role has been eliminated, or you had to go to a different role, or you've been fired. Whatever the situation might be, disruption has happened to your position in that role and moving forward. And so then what happens when you're sitting there and you're going, okay, man, I did everything I could for those people. I did everything I could for that company in that role. And then you wait for the phone to ring. One person calls, two people call, time starts getting away from you. 6 months goes on, 8 months, a year. And what happens when you realize that the memorial that you were expecting for your role in that leadership or in that position, it didn't have the impact that you thought it would have? Now let's take that same scenario, and what happens if you actually ended up living in a way, doing things in a way where that impact mattered with every single conversation? Now I know it's a tall order. I'm not saying this is easy, but what if when you left, calls, not just only from your department, calls from all over the country started pouring in different variations, different mediums. People saying, I just found out, I can't believe this has happened. That something's got to be wrong. Do they know what you did? Did they know how important you were to the success of our team, our company, our community? My goodness, it's going to be hard without you, but we're glad we experienced you. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for helping us out. Thank you for being willing. There are those of us that have had that experience as opposed to the other experience. But I just use that as an example to sit back and say, as Monday rolls around, are you going to continue through the rest of this day like there's only 2 to 3 people that should even realize you're doing anything? Or are you going to elevate yourself to the place where you can say, no, 100, 200 people are going to feel the impact of what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do this week, what I'm going to do this month, what I'm going to do this decade with my talents and my skill and my awareness and who I am. This is going to revolutionize some people's lives. And if I am not here, the memorialization of remembering who you were, what you did, how you impacted, people will turn up in droves. And so I hope that for all of you, I hope that you're going to get to experience that. I hope that you are going to get to be a part of something that matters. And you can do it from the position you're in the job that you're in the company that you're in the family that you're in. But we're going to talk about some of the elements here in the next few weeks that in order to make that possible, many of us are going to have to heal from past pains, heal from past hurts that in our business life, the way that we operated, it has changed the way that you think about impact. Maybe you showed up as your authentic self and you just realized it was destroyed, demolished. You were embarrassed. It was discouraged for you to do that again. Maybe you didn't know the right way to bring it forward. And so ever since then, you've really changed the ability to have an impact because it jeopardizes the way that people see your competency in your role. I don't know what it might be. We're going to discuss that. Business healing is a real thing that we have to really pay attention to. And if there are other people that you think this type of a message would be important, and please note, business healing, we're using that as a terminology, but that could mean that your role as a housewife, your role as a brother, your role as an uncle, there's healing in all of those things that could change the way that we impact. And for those of you that are interested, I want to take us on a little bit of a journey to try to understand not only how do we heal from this, but how does that healing actually allow us to get back to the place where now we move from 20 to 200 to 2000 to being the unique, special, talented person that you've been made to be. Looking forward to this. Can't wait. Business healing. Let's go get it.